Every year, millions of people line up to buy the latest iPhone. It's sleek, powerful, and beautifully designed, the symbol of innovation. But behind that glowing Apple logo lies a truth far less polished, a truth the company doesn't want you to see. This is Apple's darkest secret, the supplier scandal no one talks about. You're watching Truvo, the channel where we expose the real stories behind the world's most powerful brands. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications, because what you're about to hear will change the way you look at your favorite tech company forever. Apple's story starts with a promise: creativity, simplicity, perfection. Every commercial paints a world where technology empowers people and makes life better. But what if that power was built on exhaustion, exploitation, and hidden abuse? What if that iPhone in your hand came with a cost you never imagined? For years, Apple has relied on a massive network of suppliers across China, India, and Southeast Asia, companies responsible for assembling parts, polishing glass, and building the devices that define modern life. These factories employ hundreds of thousands of workers, but reports have revealed something disturbing happening behind those factory doors. Long hours, forced overtime, wages withheld, workers sleeping in overcrowded dorms. And while Apple claims to have strict supplier standards, investigative reports show that those standards are often violated, repeatedly. At Foxconn, Apple's largest supplier, workers in Zhengzhou reported working up to 75 hours a week, well above both Chinese labor laws and Apple's own guidelines. More than 50% of the workforce consisted of temporary dispatch workers, 5 times the legal limit. And this wasn't a one-time mistake. It's a pattern that's persisted for years. Quick pattern interrupt. You ever wondered why Apple launches every iPhone right on schedule? Never delayed, never late? Well, now you know why. Someone, somewhere, is working through the night to make sure your phone ships on time. But here's where things get darker. Some of Apple's smaller suppliers have faced allegations of using forced labor, including Lens Technology, accused of employing Uyghur Muslim workers in Chinese factories under government coercion. Screens made for iPhones, allegedly by people who weren't free to leave. Apple denied direct knowledge but refused to confirm whether those suppliers remained in its network. Think about that. The most valuable company on Earth, worth over $3 trillion, linked to suppliers accused of exploiting human beings. If that doesn't make you pause before your next upgrade, it should. Apple's public image depends on 2 words: responsibility and trust. They release glossy sustainability reports, emphasizing fair labor and clean energy. But behind those numbers are stories that don't make it into press releases, of workers exposed to toxic chemicals, of students forced into assembly lines, of factory employees too exhausted to stand. In 2023, China Labor Watch found that employees in Chengdu worked up to 87 hours per week during high-demand periods. That's double the legal maximum. Workers said they were forced to sign blank overtime forms, falsifying compliance. Apple claimed to be investigating, but every year, new violations appear, and every year, the same suppliers keep their contracts. So why does this keep happening? Because Apple's supply chain is its crown jewel, and its biggest risk. Cutting ties with major suppliers would disrupt billions in production. Admitting the problem means admitting accountability. And when the world's most profitable company depends on efficiency at all costs, ethics often become optional. Here is the part most people never think about. The designed in California slogan isn't a guarantee of morality, it's marketing. The actual building happens thousands of miles away, under conditions few Americans will ever see. Quick, humorous break. Designed in California, made on Earth, by people who haven't slept since the last iPhone dropped. But let's be real. This isn't just Apple's problem. It's ours. Every time we line up for a new product, we feed the same system. Our dollars reward the speed, not the ethics. And until we demand change, nothing changes. There's another layer to this story: geopolitics. One of Apple's display suppliers, BOE Technology Group, came under US scrutiny in 2025 for potential ties to Chinese military programs. Lawmakers warned that even Apple's sophisticated auditing system can't track everything. The question now isn't just about worker welfare, it's about global security. So let us ask the hard question. If the most powerful tech company in history can guarantee ethical manufacturing, who can? Every time Apple faces criticism, the response is the same. We're investigating. We hold suppliers to high standards. And yet, the next investigation always reveals more of the same. It's not a coincidence, it's a cycle. And as long as demand keeps growing, the cycle won't stop. Cliffhanger tone. So the real question isn't, how did this happen? It asks, how long has this been happening, and how much don't we know yet? Maybe your iPhone, your MacBook, your AirPods, they're all masterpieces of engineering. But they might also be monuments to quiet suffering halfway around the world. This isn't a call to throw away your Apple devices. It's a call to awareness, to question, to care. Because real innovation isn't just about what's inside the device. It's about what's behind it. If you're watching this right now, you're part of a generation that can hold corporations accountable. You can demand transparency, ethical supply chains, and fair labor. Because when we stop asking questions, that's when the silence becomes complicity. So before your next upgrade, remember, perfection comes at a price, and someone else might be paying it for you. If this story opened your eyes, like this video, subscribe to Truvo, and share it with someone who believes every big company is pure and perfect. Because on Truvo, we expose what others won't, the truth behind the shine. Stay alert, stay informed, and remember, every story has two sides, one that's sold to you and one that's hidden. And we're here to uncover both.